Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials that I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he just really was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utang-Sioux and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at Super Value Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
You're looking live at the Schaefer Center just outside of downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana, as the men's volleyball home season kicks off for the number 10 ranked Indiana Tech Warriors, who come in unbeaten on the year with a 3-0 record, taking on the Cumberland University Phoenix out of Tennessee, who will open up their season tonight here inside the Schaefer Center. For SummitCitySports.com, I'm Jaron Matheny. Glad you are with us for this evening as we kick off the home year for the men's volleyball team for Indiana Tech. The Warriors, the preseason favorite to repeat In the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, the WHAC preseason poll, Indiana Tech receiving 94 total points and 7 out of 10 first place votes. Lourdes coming in at number 2, followed by Mount Vernon at 3 and Lawrence Tech at number 4. WHAC looks a little bit different during the men's volleyball season. You've got some of the regulars from the WHAC that we see throughout the entire year: Tech, Lourdes, Lawrence Tech, Cornerstone, Aquinas, and Siena Heights. But mixed into this group, a couple of teams from the Crossroads League, and then you're just pulling some other teams from local area play as well. Mount Vernon out of Ohio, Bethel, Goshen, and St. Mary of the Woods College, all joining the WHAC during the men's volleyball season. This is week 2 of the year, and our first week kicked off last week and even the week prior to that in NAIA men's volleyball. And to start the season, Indiana Tech ranked at number 11. They move up to number 10 with the newest edition of the top 15 poll. The Masters out of California is in the top spot with 15 first place votes after they got off to a 6-0 start on the season. Park out of Missouri at number 2. Then Vanguard, who opened the year as the preseason favorite at number 1. They were idle for the first couple of weeks, so they have not played yet. They dropped down from 1 to 3 despite not having played a match yet this season. Benedictine Mesa out of Arizona is number 4. Grandview, who's been the team since NAIA men's volleyball has come about. Grandview has been the team in the number 1 slot the most times since the introduction of men's volleyball at the NAIA level. They're at number 5 currently. Ottawa University out of Arizona, number 6. The University of Jamestown in North Dakota at number 7. Menlo in California at 8. And then William Penn in Iowa is the number 9 ranked team, with Tech rounding out the top 10 at number 10. Lourdes is currently number 14. And Georgetown out of Kentucky, who Indiana Tech beat to open up the season in 5 thrilling sets. Georgetown drops from 9 to 11 in this latest edition of the top 15 poll. And, of course, that's here as we get rolling with the young volleyball season so far for Indiana Tech. This men's volleyball program, that 3-0 start following a 5-set wins over Georgetown and Olivet Nazarene to open up the season. And then a 4-set victory on January 26th over Talladega College as well. All those games were played at Georgetown College in Kentucky in the Georgetown Invite. 5 sets on Thursday the 25th, and then 5 sets on the 26th in the morning, 4 sets on the 26th in the afternoon to improve to 3-0 for Indiana Tech to start the young season. 1-0 in true road games this year and 2-0 in neutral site games to start the season after going 19-10 a year ago, 9-2 on the home floor last season for Indiana Tech, making it into and winning the WAC Tournament Championship before falling in the opening round of the national tournament in pool play. A 5-set loss to the Masters University out of Colorado and a 3-set loss in pool play to Menlo College as well. Ended last year's competition for this Indiana Tech men's volleyball program, who's now under a first-year head coach. Jordan Rosenberg is at the helm in his first season for the Warriors this year. He began his collegiate career play at the University of Charleston before going to Wisconsin Whitewater, and most recently in his coaching tenure, he joined Carthage College as a top assistant. The Firebirds going 18-8 in 2022 and ranking 8th nationally. And since the 2015 year, Rosenberg has been coaching in the volleyball circuit, but gets his first official head job here at Indiana Tech and his first home game of his head coaching tenure for the Warriors as well, who, as I mentioned, are off to a 3-0 start on the season. For Cumberland, no games to start the year so far. The Phoenix will kick off their season tonight under second-year head coach Chris Padilla after a 14-15 overall record last year, including a 7-3 conference mark in the Mid-South a season ago for Cumberland. 3 out of 6 all-conference players from last year's Phoenix team are on the wayside, so some replacements to be made, certainly, and some holes to fill in here tonight, starting for Cumberland. But they do return one of the best players in the Mid-South Conference, the defensive player over the year the last 2 years in a row, Caleb Jennings, the senior libero out of Kingston Springs, Tennessee. He brings really leadership to the libero role, but that consistency and know what to expect night in and night out from Jennings on that back line for Cumberland. Cumberland will be without Luka Illich, a seasoned outside attacker tonight. He is not available for this game after earning Mid-South Conference first team honors last year. So it should be interesting to see how Cumberland fares against Indiana Tech to open up the season. Warriors with games January 25th and 26th, but it's been almost 2 full weeks off for Indiana Tech as well. So they finally really get the season in full swing. The University of Rio Grande will be here next Tuesday with a 7 p.m. first serve. In fact, this is the only match scheduled home match of the year as of right now. That's starting at 7:30. It'll either be 3 or 7 p.m. start times and first serve times for Indiana Tech this year in men's volleyball. Warriors home tonight and then next Tuesday. They'll be home the following Tuesday as well, February 20th, before a road trip to the Eagle Classic in Illinois. And then the next home matches will be March 8th, 9th, and 12th before 6 out of the last 7 matches of the regular season for Indiana Tech will come here at the Schaefer Center. For Cumberland University, the Phoenix and Coach Padilla in his second year at the helm. Again, first game of the season for the Phoenix, who will get to return sooner rather than later for Cumberland in terms of the overall landscape of the schedule this year. They'll be in the Bethel University tournament starting tomorrow, so a nice little trip here for Cumberland up to Indiana. Well, they'll play in Fort Wayne tonight and then Mishawaka the next 2 nights with Judson University, Culver Stockton College, and Calumet College of St. Joseph. And then it's the Maryville Invitational, February 16th and 17th, before road matches at Georgetown and at Carolina University. First home match of the year is a little ways out, actually, for Cumberland. February 27th, Tuesday night, a 4:30 start time against Midway University to open up the home season for Cumberland. They've got Georgetown College on their schedule. As I mentioned, they'll be in Mishawaka this weekend. They'll also face the University of Rio Grande, and the Mid-South Conference Championship Tournament will take place in Bowling Green, Kentucky on April 18th. Undefeated Indiana Tech off to a 3-0 start on the year. The number 10 team ranked nationally, taking on the Cumberland University Phoenix, who come in their first game so far this season. We'll step aside and come back with men's volleyball after this. You're tuned in to Indiana Tech men's volleyball here on SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
We welcome you back to the Schaefer Center, SummitCitySports.com. Jaron Matheny, glad you are with us as we take a look at your starting lineups and rotations for both teams, starting with the visitors on the scoreboard. The Cumberland Phoenix out of Lebanon, Tennessee. Kix Verrill is the sophomore outside hitter at 6'6". Jacob White, a senior opposite out of Lockport, Illinois. He stands at 6'4". We talked about the senior libero, Caleb Jennings, in the intro. Jennings, a 6' even libero from Kingston Springs, Tennessee, for this Cumberland Phoenix squad. And the Phoenix coached by Chris Padilla, who is in his second season at the helm for Cumberland University. And now the Indiana Tech Warrior men's volleyball team to be introduced, and something that's going to be a little bit different in the updated look of rules this season. You can't have two guys on the bench wearing a libero jersey at the same time now. A little bit different than in really every year in the past. Usually it's just one guy with one jersey, but you can have two now in the updated rules for USA Volleyball. So Indiana Tech will take advantage of that with two guys wearing orange jerseys here this evening, including Jacob Carrico. And now we get your starters for Indiana Tech and the Warriors, led by first-year head coach Jordan Rosenberg. Raekwon Rogers, the middle blocker, wearing number 1. Dante Stewart, a fifth-year outside senior out of Trinidad and Tobago. Brandon Jones is the fifth-year setter, or the senior setter, excuse me. Ben Rosno, a sophomore outside hitter out of Illinois. Logan Gamero, the redshirt sophomore middle blocker. And Austin Runyard, a junior opposite for Indiana Tech, and then Carrico wearing number 9 as the libero for Cumberland here this evening, or for Indiana Tech against Cumberland this evening. Your scoreboard up in the top right corner. Indiana Tech is in all black. Cumberland will wear those maroon jerseys here this evening as we get set for play between the Warriors and the Phoenix. Number 10, Indiana Tech, 3-0 to start the year. No conference games yet this season. Last time out, a 4-set victory over Talladega. And Cumberland without a game on the docket this season. 14-15 a year ago, 7-3 against Mid-South Conference competition. This will be a little bit different here today, though, and my goodness, I'm not sure there could be any more players on the Indiana Tech roster. It feels like they're running 20 to 23 deep, and Cumberland at max 15 on the other side of the net. So starting rotations have been announced. Milan, Siracusa, and Stewart, 3 guys who are, 2 of the 3 aren't starting this match for Indiana Tech, but 2 of those 3 guys are tied for the team lead, 22 kills on the season. Brandon Jones, the leader in assists this year with 72, and Dante Stewart, 4 aces, leads the team this season as well. Now that the pregame festivities are over, we'll get you set for first serve. Tech has won a share of the conference crown each of the last 3 seasons. They won it outright the past 2 years in a row. And Cumberland trying to make a statement to open up their year on the road tonight in Fort Wayne against Indiana Tech. Logan Gamero come out of the back row as Carrico slides in that libero spot for Indiana Tech. Caleb Jennings in for Cumberland into the back row for Austin Smalley. And it will be Cumberland to serve first from left to right. Alex Hoyer serving first for Cumberland. From left to right, jump serve and a service error to start us off inside the Schaefer Center tonight. And now Indiana Tech, Mario Capo, a senior from Fishers, serves with a 1-0 advantage. Long run off the first touch by Jennings. Opposite hand attack, Carrico. This is tracked down towards the Tech bench and sent over by Rosno. Down the middle, but batted wide on the attack for Hendrickson. Make that Akio. Joseph Akio, sophomore middle blocker from Honolulu. Just off to the left, 2-0 Indiana Tech in front. Capo jump serve is over at Jennings. Long run for the set by Hoyer. Attack for White is good. And Cumberland has their first point of the season. And it comes off a Jacob White kill. Senior opposite out of Lockport, Illinois. The first point of the year for the Phoenix. Farrell serve. Carrico digs it out. Jones setting to the outside and off. Jennings in the back row. Dante Stewart, the kill for Indiana Tech. Point Warriors 3-1. Tech out in front early. And now Ben Rosno. (3-0) to start the year. 5 sets in the first 2 matches of the season. That serve just too long from Rosno. First error for Tech from the service line. Makes it 3-2. 5 sets over Georgetown, 5 sets over Olivet Nazarene, and then 4 sets against Talladega. Jones set a little bit off for Stewart. Jennings pops it up, back row. Hoyer on the runner near side. It's Luis Aquillo. Rosno gets the point back for Indiana Tech. 4-2 Warriors. Carrico now on to serve for Tech, and this 4-2 lead. Handcuffed White and an ace for Indiana Tech. 5-2 Warriors on top here in the opening set. As Carrico serves once again. Line drive serve at the net and dumped down. Austin Smalley, his first kill, makes it 5-3 off the assist from Hoyer. Luis Aquillo spins the ball up in the air off that serve. Jones in the middle setting. Stewart got above the rest of the pack, hammers it through. Dante Stewart, second kill, 6-3, Warriors on top. Jones a little softer on this serve at Jennings. Hoyer setting left and White, quick 1-2 punch. Cumberland back within 2 points. 6-4 through the first 10 here in the opening set in favor of Indiana Tech. White serves over Carrico. Jones had to go off a back foot to keep it alive. Back row attack for White to push. Jones extends. Carrico setting for Stewart, far side. Glanced off the blockers, back up in the air. Hoyer for Farrell. Towards the back line, Carrico bounces it up high again. Jones for Rose now. Jennings, left hand, kept this point rolling. Stewart has the end of the rally on his third kill. Dante Stewart, 3 kills through the opening 7 points for Indiana Tech, and now he serves. 25 kills on the year for Stewart. High throw on this jump serve. White first touch. Hoyer for Farrell, and out as he came across court. No touch from Indiana Tech. Warriors lead at 8-4. So far, so good for Indiana Tech at the Schaefer Center tonight. Another high throw from Stewart, nearly an ace. Good dig. Soft tap, Carrico gets there. Jones going to the outside, down the line, the kill for Austin Runyard. His first of the night. 9-4, Indiana Tech on top. Stewart serving once again for Indiana Tech. Back line, no, just wide. Line judge called it in initially and then raised that flag for out. Service error by Stewart. And a point for Cumberland. Austin Smalley off the back line to Carrico. Jones going out. Touch came back over, and Rose now plants it in. Results. It looks like a timeout coming up for Cumberland. At least that's what Coach Padilla looked like he was signaling for, unless he was just looking for over the top. No timeout here for Cumberland yet. Southpaw jump serve over from Wheatley. And then a cross-court kill by Farrell gives it right back to Cumberland. 10-6 Warriors opening set lead. Alexander Hoyer off the jump. Jones right into the middle. Raekwon Rogers, first kill of the night. Here's a look back at it on our replay. Jones, good set. Rogers takes care of the rest for Indiana Tech. Mario Capo back at the start of our serving rotation on this liner. Hoyer set, and that was not touched by Tech as it rolled off to the far side. 12-6, Warriors in front. And that'll cause a timeout by Cumberland. 12-6 in this first set. Warriors out in front. The number 10 team in the country leading 12-6. Set one. We'll return with more action after this. SummitCitySports.com. Don't go anywhere.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
12-6 start for Indiana Tech, and it's been Dante Stewart, 3 kills in the opening 12 points for Tech, but a big kill here from Raekwon Rogers off the set from Brandon Jones, and nothing you can do defensively if you're Jacob White off that point for Rogers, his first kill. Number 10 Indiana Tech on top, 12-6 in opening set action from the Schaefer Center tonight. Jaron Matheny, Summit City Sports, glad you are with us. Esau Haynes is running our camera here tonight. First timeout taken by Cumberland, so the Phoenix have one remaining if needed. Serving out of the timeout, Capo, and on the near side, Farrell picks up the kill. Make it 12-7. Kicks Farrell with a pair of kills for the sophomore outside hitter from Manchester, Tennessee. High toss on that serve. Jones for Rogers. And Rogers, 2 swings, 2 kills, hitting 1,000 in his first 2 attacks. 13-7, Tech in front. Ben Rosno glides through the air on that serve and hit it too far. Couple of errors for Rosno from the service line this evening. 3 service errors in total for Tech to 1 ace. 1 error, no aces on the other side for Cumberland. Jennings is too far. 14-8 Warriors opening set lead. First match of the year for Cumberland, and that'll play into some things. I feel especially if Tech can develop a rhythm early on, which it seems like they have. Going out wide to White down the line, his second kill for Cumberland. Alexander Hoyer, freshman from Middleton, Wisconsin. gets the start at the setter position for Cumberland. And it's back-to-back errors in the service department for the Phoenix. 15-9, Tech leading. And a change for the Warriors as Austin Runyard is back in. Jones with an angle on this serve. Hoyer looking for White, popped it over the top. Back row, Rose now just off the tips of his fingers. This ball kept alive. White hits it over again. Jones setting out wide for Stewart. Two blockers couldn't control off the block and down. Stewart's got a fourth kill, and Tech leading 16-9. Stewart, well, stats say just kill number 3 for him on 4 total attacks. Hoyer back to White. Good spot for Jacob White. Now 16-10. That is the 4th kill for Jacob White. And White serving off his own kill. Jones back to Stewart, who got the initial touch, went off the top of a blocker and down for another Stewart kill. That's number 4 for the 5th-year senior out of Trinidad and Tobago. (17-10), Tech leading first set. Long stride for Stewart on that serve. Back row, White. Popped up by Jones. Looking for Runyard off the set by Stewart. Jennings keeps it alive. Hoyer back setting. Akio on the run, no touch. And it's Tech point. (18-10) Warriors. Stewart serves once again. Jennings' first touch comes for a joust. Warriors win it at the net line. Gamero picks up the point. 19-10 Tech. And Peter Dimmelin out of Mill Creek, Washington is into the front row. Another deep breath by Stewart. Tosses this one at a good distance. Jennings' first touch. Hoyer down the middle, but too strong. Cumberland looking for a touch, and they will get it from the down judge. Overrules the line judge here. And it is a point for the Phoenix. Hendrickson on for the first time for Cumberland. Smalley serves at Carrico. Jones, good spot to set. Stewart from beyond that 3-meter line. And another kill for Stewart, 20-11. Opening set advantage, 5 kills on 6 attacks for Stewart. Clayton Wheatley back in to serve. See that southpaw serve coming for Indiana Tech. Just a different look from beyond the line. But Wheatley comes up short. Fourth service error of this opening set by Indiana Tech. John Fonda is in the front row for Tech. They'll go right to Fonda on cue. He's got the kill and a point for Indiana Tech. It's a 9-point lead in the first set. Mario Capo, 4 points to get for the Warriors. Set one. Joust tapped down. Akio kept it alive. Jones had to go down to dig it out. Stewart, little runner, is in. And the Warriors up by 10. Timeout taken by Cumberland. 22-12, opening set lead for the Warriors. Number 10 in the country, looking for a first set win when we return to the Schaefer Center. SummitCitySports.com.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
From the Schaefer Center here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the Indiana Tech men's volleyball team, number 10 in the country, leading Cumberland 22-12 in this opening set of action. First match of the year for Cumberland, fourth match of the season for Indiana Tech, although the Warriors have gone basically 2 weeks without playing a match after opening up the season at Georgetown College with 3 consecutive matches over 2 days. Final timeout by Cumberland in this set. Capo with a serve that goes through the hands of White, an ace. And now at 23-12. Capo, back-to-back aces. Just too much to handle on the serve towards White. And it's set point in the first for Indiana Tech, looking to rattle off the final 4 points of this first set. Capo, set point 1. And we'll at least see set point 2 as Farrell picks up the kill for Cumberland University. Substitution, Joseph Akio back on for the Phoenix. Set point 2, Farrell on the serve. And a service error ends the opening set in favor of Indiana Tech. So the Warriors win set 1, 25-13 over Cumberland. And that'll take us to a pause in the action. Set 1 belongs to the Warriors, 25-13 over Cumberland. We'll come back with more Indiana Tech volleyball after the break. Set 1 in favor of the number 10 Warriors, 25-13. SummitCitySports.com.
It's really important for freshmen to realize you get out of college what you put into it. If you dedicate yourself to your classes and to your projects and to what you're doing in college, you're going to have a really great experience here.
I wish someone would have told me my freshman year that it's important to prioritize, knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing what I need to do opposed to what I want to do.
The 2 things that I think all freshmen should know is buy a parking permit so you don't rack up a bunch of fines and tickets. And also make sure you go to class, because it seems like a good idea when you're skipping, but then it's not worth it in the end when you fail the test or don't turn in homework.
As an international student, my advice for the freshmen is to not be afraid to make friends, because your friends here will end up being your family away from home.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to put on, anything that you want to showcase on campus, you can. There's always people around to help you do what you want to do here.
Make sure that you always take time for yourself to make sure that you're okay, because college can be very overwhelming as far as like schoolwork and friends and sports and just like everyday life. Always just make sure that you get what you need to get done.
It's important to have a relationship with your professors because you become more personable with them. You start to engage in the material more. They can give you recommendations, especially once you get out of college. You definitely want to put them down as like references. And if you have a better personal relationship, it just makes the whole learning experience go smoothly.
Opening set belongs to Indiana Tech, 25-13 over Cumberland. SummitCitySports.com. Jaron Matheny, glad you are with us. Got our score bug fixed there at the end of the opening set. Went out on us. 3-0 Indiana Tech, off to a 1-0 lead against Cumberland. And the opening set, pretty easy start to finish for the Warriors. 6 kills for Dante Stewart on 7 total attacks. 2 kills for Rogers, 2 kills for Rosno, and then a kill for Fonda, Gamero, and Runyard in the first set. Tech hits 684 with 3 aces, 4 errors. On the other side for Cumberland, Phoenix 263 in the hitting percentage. Not terrible, but when you're going up against 680, tells the story. 4 kills for Jacob White to lead the attacking for the Phoenix. 3 kills for Kix Farrell in that first set. But it's Indiana Tech on top. 1-0 in the match, 25-13 after set 1. And Brandon Jones with 11 assists in the first set. 2 aces belong to Capo. And the leader in digs right now with 3 is Carrico for Indiana Tech. Cumberland waiting to hit the floor here. Officials have blown the whistle, ready for play. I'm not sure why we haven't broken the huddle quite yet. And there we go. Cumberland, some last-second adjustments for the Phoenix. Again, making the trip up from Tennessee. They'll be in Mishawaka the next 2 nights. Bethel is hosting an invite. Long way still to go in this match. But a good start for Indiana Tech and what you wanted to do here on the home floor and get yourself into the swing of things. Actually, serving at home is better than serving on the road. You get the backdrop down and, you know, the distance doesn't change no matter what court you're on. What that backdrop does, it can throw different players for a loop as Brandon Jones will start the first set serving for Indiana Tech. Set 2 is underway after an opening set victory, and Jones off on the swing for the Warriors. And the first point belongs to Cumberland. Jones near side, Runyard on the swing. This one's set up at an off angle. And Kuehler can't do anything with it, blocked back. And the point is to Indiana Tech. 1-1, set 2. Stewart probably got the highest throw on a serve for the Warriors. Comes off with a lot of power for that 5th-year senior who's got the ace right on cue. 4th ace of the evening for Indiana Tech. After 3 in the first set. Another powerful serve from Stewart. Long run, Hoyer back setting, and a kill picked up by Hendrickson. Najee Hendrickson, junior outside hitter for Cumberland, his first kill of the match. And now he'll serve for Cumberland in a 2-2 second set. Jones right down the middle. And this swing eventually finds a home for Camaro. Southpaw serve from Wheatley, and the set was missed by Hoyer. 4-2, Tech in front. Freshman making his first collegiate start. We didn't see any mistakes from the sitter in the first, but that time just took his eyes off it. He'll get a clean set off here, and White terminates. And a kill for Cumberland, back to within one. Logan Gamero back in, and then right back out for Indiana Tech as Carrico is back into the back row. Carrico, Stewart, and Rosno, the three on the back line for Indiana Tech. Stewart, the first touch. Jones going out. Now Hoyer, near side swing, off the block, out, point, Cumberland. 4-4, set two. Jennings, the ace for the Phoenix. And for Cumberland, first ace of the night belongs to the senior Jennings. Jones trying to get him off the line. White keeps it in. Jones for Runyard, and we're tied back up at 5. Mario Capel with a pair of aces in the opening set for Indiana Tech. 5-5 to begin set two. A little spin on this to the outside. Back for White. Stewart angles back towards the middle. Jones setting. Rosno. Cross-court kill. Point Tech. Six to 5. Set two advantage for Indiana Tech. Hendricks first touch, back over to Jones, and he takes care of the rest for Indiana Tech. Overpass, and Jones delivers the goods on the other end. We'll look back at it after this point. Capo, nearly the ace. And that does find the back coffin corner for a point for Cumberland. Here's a look at the previous point. First touch over, and Jones, again, taking care of what's left over for Indiana Tech. Rose now, that was against the blockers. Tech still with a chance. Rosno, another swing. Jennings setting back behind him for White. The ball just dug out. Stewart. And in for the point for Indiana Tech. 8-6 Warriors, second set advantage. Mason Milan has not played yet in this game. Rosno serve on a line drive at Jennings. Long run for the set. This is angled back. Jones going to take the swing on touch 2. Into the air. This one rattles the tape off the swing from Sulema. Rosno nearly got it. And that did not make it over. 4 touches. Point Indiana Tech, 9-6. Warriors set 2. Rosno just kept his foot behind the line off that serve. Back set to White, and he splits the back row. Point Cumberland. Jacob White, 6 kills out of the 14 for Cumberland here tonight. Good serve from White. Carrico's 2 at first. Jones for Stewart, who has been on fire in the front row for Tech. His 9th kill on 10 total attempts. And Stewart and the Warriors back up by 3, set 2, after a set 1 victory of 12 points. Manabach is in there setting currently for Cumberland. Here he is, pushing it, and a rejection up front for Indiana Tech. Gamero got his hands on it. Warriors leading by 4. And we're in potential timeout range now for Cumberland, as Carrico will look to keep the run rolling for Tech. Offhand swing was too strong. 11-8. There are a lot of guys on that sideline for Indiana Tech. This is probably one of the longest rosters you'll see in NAIA men's volleyball. Jones right near the stand. That touch comes back over to Indiana Tech, but they couldn't take advantage of it. Cumberland fortunate to get the point here. Warriors, that's one you got to take advantage of on a first touch coming back over after not a great send. 11-9. Carrico for Jones. He goes over on 2. Hendrickson off a back foot. Rosno skies it. Stewart on the swat. White's there. Back set. And Stewart came over, bats it down. And Tech back up by 3. Runyard for Capo. But a timeout taken first by Cumberland. 1-0 match lead for number 10, Indiana Tech. Warriors lead the second set by 3. We'll come back with more men's volleyball after the break. SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
1-0 in the match. 12-9, set 2 lead for Indiana Tech. White off the first touch out of the timeout for Cumberland. This swing didn't make it over, and it is Tech point. So 13-9, Tech on top. Jones, a little more arc on this serve. Could have been a double contact. Instead, it falls through for White. 13-10. Alexander Hoyer. Cumberland's played a lot better here in set 2. Just trying to find their groove in the opening match of the season for the Phoenix. This is back over to Tech. Kiriko setting. Runyard near side is blocked. And the Phoenix back within 2. Hoyer, another strong serve. Jones into the middle. Polished off by Gamero. Rosno, Gamero with 3 kills. 8 kills for Dante Stewart. He's back to the service line again for Indiana Tech. White's first touch coming back over. Jones for Rosno. Hoyer to White. And it's on the back line. Point Cumberland. Back line judge nearest the Indiana Tech bench. Calling that one on the line. High arcing serve may have been mishit. Jones, Runyard to the back row. Hendricks keeps it alive, but not for long. Hendrickson on a second punch to keep that ball up for Cumberland, but to no avail. 15-12, Warriors set 2. 1-0 match lead for Indiana Tech. And Clayton Wheatley trying to get this advantage for Tech back to 4. Jennings angle, Hoyer to White. All up in the air, Rogers clapping for it. He gets it and makes it count. Raekwon Rogers, soon as that ball got kept up off the first touch, back over, he was clapping for it. And Jones finds him for Rogers' 3rd kill. Wheatley. Hoyer back towards the middle. Jones pancaked it up. Rogers on the block attempt goes out. 16-13. Jennings, 3 points separating Cumberland in set 2. Runyard got blocked back. Kiriko keeps it alive. Rosno in between the antenna. Out wide for White, who's got another kill for Cumberland. It's White's 8th kill. He's got 4 digs as well. 9 kills on 15 attacks. No errors for Jacob White in the attacking department. Jennings keeps this ball up with his pushover. Jones, back line, Stewart. Little knuckler finds a home. 17-14. Mario Capo. Hendrickson pushed it into the sky. Hoyer on the back set. This is coming down the line. Kiriko gets there. Stewart has to stay down for the 2-hand shove, but creates problems on the other side. White a swing. And somebody made contact with the net. It was Indiana Tech on the violation. And Cumberland back to within 2. Phoenix have not gone away in this second set. Good place to set for Jones. He comes back to Rosno. And Tech with a much needed point. Ben Rosno, sophomore, 6'5" from Oswego. Little runner on that set. Ball kept alive by Rogers. Jones, soft touch over. Hendrickson kept it up. White angles his body and finds a kill. And Cumberland was looking for a lift on the other side. And so was Indiana Tech for that matter. 18-16 Warriors. Stewart to the back line. And that's tapped wide off the soft set. Smalley pushes too far. Attack air, 19-16 Indiana Tech, 1-0 match advantage. Carrico trying to put Tech to 21st. Going out to Hendrickson. Jones with a block alongside Gamero. And this could cause a Cumberland timeout. 4 points separating in the second. And this feels like a much needed point for Cumberland, and the Phoenix are going to talk about it before this point takes place. Second set lead for Indiana Tech, 20-16, 1-0 in the match. We'll step aside and come back with the rest of set two after this. SummitCitySports.com. Don't go anywhere.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
Set two lead for Indiana Tech, 20-16 over Cumberland. 1-0 match advantage. Phoenix are out of timeouts here in the second. Carrico, and that went off the wrong part of his hand on the serve, way over. 20-17. And exactly what you need if you're Cumberland out of a timeout, right? You need the first point to try and go on a 3-0 spurt and throw yourself back into the second set. Smalley. Jones. Stewart, but it was wide on the near sideline. Attack air, Cumberland point. Back-to-back for the Phoenix, who can bring it to one. Jones goes over on two. Back up into the air. White from the back row. And it's in. 3-0 run by Cumberland out of the timeout. And this is, that timeout was where Indiana Tech had a chance to lock in, put this match away in the second. Jones for Stewart. Base of his hand is over, and a net violation against Cumberland. Snaps that 3-0 spurt by the Phoenix. First to 25, win by 2 in sets 1 through 4, and then it's the first to 15, win by 2 in the fifth. Jones with 4 points to get. Takes a little bit of a running angle on his serve. Jennings' first touch. Go out to Hendrickson on the set, off a blocker and out, and a point for Cumberland. Alexander Hoyer back on for Cumberland. An ace here ties this second set. Jump serve down the line. Jones going behind himself for Stewart. Hoyer for Hendrickson. Back up in the air. Phoenix White goes opposite hand. Now a chance for Tech. Runyer dug out by Jennings. And it's out. And fortunate break for Indiana Tech as this attack comes wide from Kuehler. He didn't agree with the line judge nearest the Tech bench. That's a big swing point. Hendrickson too strong, 23-20. 2 points for the Warriors to grab to take a 2-0 advantage. Stewart just glides through the air off that jump serve to the opposite side, and a kill for Cumberland as Manabach has his first kill. He had been in a setting position, but with Hoyer back on the floor, that slides him to an attacking spot. 2 point separating in set two. Jones, back row, Stewart out of a cannon. 24-21, set two, set point for Indiana Tech. Clayton Wheatley serves, set point for the Warriors. Off the tape, White on the outside, keeps Cumberland alive. Wheatley comes back off. 24-22, set point two for Tech. Jones out wide, Runyer. This falls wide of the line. Point Indiana Tech, and set two belongs to the Warriors. 25-13 opening set, 25-22 in the second, and number 10 Indiana Tech is just one set victory away from a sweep on this Thursday night. More men's volleyball comes your way after the break. SummitCitySports.com. Don't go anywhere. Tech on top, 2-0.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
2-0 Indiana Tech over Cumberland in this match as we head into our third set from the Schaefer Center on this Thursday night, February 8th. First home match of the year for the number 10 ranked Indiana Tech men's volleyball team. Cumberland playing their first match of the season, and you can tell a little bit, especially early on in that first set, you know, what team had been on the floor already so far this year and what team was getting their legs under them. Pretty distinct advantage for Indiana Tech when you think about that front. They've got 3 games already gone and done with before the match taking place tonight. 5 sets in the first 2 matches of the year for Tech over Georgetown and Olivet Nazarene. 4 sets the last time out against Talladega for Indiana Tech. Warriors are on the floor. Count them up, 6 in total, ready to go. And Cumberland serves to start our third set of action tonight. Sharon Matheny, SummitCitySports.com. Esau Haynes running our camera this evening. And Cumberland's Alexander Hoyer serving to start our third set. Rosno tips of his fingers. Ball kept alive off the extension. White swing over. Rosno got caught in a weird position on that first touch. Kuehler too strong. And it's Tech who starts the third set with a point. Mason Milan in for the first time for the Warriors. Going out wide. And this did not get a touch. Oh, yes, it did. The head official rules the touch and the point for Cumberland. Line judge on the opposite side didn't have it. White nearly an ace. And the free ball back over winds up at a point for Tech. Little things add up. Dante Stewart has been the leader so far in this game. High toss on the serve. Nearly an ace. Hoyer out for Hendrickson. He's blocked. Milan and Gamero with a block for Tech. 3-1 Warriors. And we saw number 8 for Tech sitting there in the warm-up, stretching out for the first 2 games. And now out there, a little extra pop in the step. Hoyer to the near side. Cross-court attack is wide and out. 4-1 Warriors. Indiana Tech back home Tuesday against Rio Grande next week. Cumberland will be in the Bethel tourney starting tomorrow with Judson All games being played in Mishawaka. Stewart, nearly an ace. Hendrickson tracks it down. Free ball shove over. Jones, back. Milan. Point for the Warriors. Milan with a kill. Five out of the first 6 points in the third belong to Indiana Tech. This serve is into the net. 8th error in total serving tonight for Indiana Tech. 4 aces for the Warriors. 1 ace, 5 service errors now for Cumberland as this comes to the near side and out. 6-2, Tech leading third set. Carrico comes off, and this is Wheatley serving for Indiana Tech. White first touch, and this is punched and did not make it over. In fact, may have gone on the wrong side of the antenna anyway. 7-2 Indiana Tech, and Cumberland got to be thinking about a timeout this early in the third set. And for Coach Padilla's squad. And there is that timeout for Cumberland. Good start to the third, 2-0 match lead for Tech, and up by 5 in set 3. We'll be back right after this. SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from
SummitCitySports.com. We continue in set 3. Out of the first timeout by Cumberland. Stewart for Milan, big time pop. Eight to 2, Warriors in front. Check to make sure that ball's still inflated properly. Wheatley line drive serve is too far, and now 2 out of the first 3 points for Cumberland in this set have all come off of service errors by Indiana Tech. Change for the Phoenix. Manabach back in serving. That's too far. Stewart just kept his hands away from it. And the error has it at 9-3 Tech. Third set lead. Milan serving for Tech. Off the tape and an ace for the Warriors. Caden Baltimore, the backup libero. Quick conversation with Coach Rosenberg. Milan and short on this serve. 3 errors, 3 out of 4 points for Cumberland. Mario Capo on for Indiana Tech. Hendrickson serve, good extension from Carrico. Set up, Rosno, and the point makes it 11-4 Warriors. And all of a sudden feeling like it's a bit of cruise control right now with the home Schaefer Center for Indiana Tech. Cumberland trying to shake off some cobwebs in the early season, and no matches under the belt compared to 3 already for Indiana Tech. White up in the air, and it's back to 6. Jacob White has led Cumberland in attacks the entire way, has a match-high 14 kills. Joseph Aquillo is on for Cumberland. Smalley serve off the tape. Stewart got the first touch. Rogers gets the last touch. And another kill for Raekwon Rogers. 4 kills on 4 swings. And batting 1,000, swinging 1,000 for Tech. Carrico too strong, just giving away points at the service line right now for Indiana Tech. Got to start, you smell the blood in the water, so to speak. Jumped out to a great advantage here, keeping the serve in play. Well, we'll avoid any long runs from Cumberland. Rosno, and another point for Tech, 13-6. And now Caden Baltimore, the freshman, is in. And you hear the ovation from his teammates. Milan in for Capo. Brandon Jones serves and comes up short. This has been bad from the service line perspective in this set for Indiana Tech. That's the 5th error serving in this set alone. Jacob White, and he's got a service error. Football score, 14-7, Tech on top of Cumberland. 3rd set from the Schaefer Center. 11 points would give Indiana Tech a sweep of Cumberland this evening. And win number 4 on 4 tries this year. Blocked, but out. 14-8. Phoenix serve, and it's the libero Caleb Jennings. Coach Rosenberg had a quick conversation with Ron Young Jr. as well. Let's see if he gets in. Milan. And no point for Indiana Tech here. Thought for sure that went off of somebody in the blocking department for Cumberland. But to no avail. So Milan swing doesn't result in a point. Jennings continues to serve. He'll go back to Milan. This time it counts. 10 points away. And Ron Young Jr. is indeed in for Indiana Tech. And he's going to serve for the Warriors. It looks like the Tech women's volleyball team loves it. Freshman, a little bit of spin at White. Hendrickson, too strong. No touch. Oh, yes, a touch. The head official overruling the line judge. Manabach and Cumberland far from being out of this 3rd set, especially with the errors serving, but Rogers And the attacking department has cleaned up the rest. 5 kills for Raekwon Rogers. That was his 5th swing. Tech hitting .640 in this third set. 8 kills, 1 error. 492 for the match for the Warriors. Milan. And hit the line judge on this serve. 16-11. Capo in for Milan. Hendrickson serve too far. And we're trading service errors right now at the Schaefer Center. Cumberland 4 kills, 4 errors in the set on 11 total attacks. Indiana Tech also 11 attacks, but 8 and 1 the split, kills to errors. Back line, good for the Phoenix. 17-12. Sulema picks up the kill. That was the first for him. Rogers continues the hot streak. 6 for 6. You know, Stewart's got 11 kills on 18 attempts with just 1 error. He's at 556, but 6 kills, 6 swings for Raekwon Rogers. Back line good for Joseph Akio. 18-13. Manabach, brief conversation through the net with the Warriors. Everyone laughing along as Hoyer too strong on this serve, and another error serving for Cumberland in this set. Caden Baltimore back on for Tech. And Mason Milan back in, the 5th-year senior for the Warriors as well. 19-13, set 3. And Jones was ready to serve. But Cumberland wanted a timeout first, and that'll be granted. Final timeout for the Phoenix. Warriors looking to close it out in straight sets when we return to the Schaefer Center. Back right after this, SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Two 2-0 in the match, 19-13, game 3 advantage for Indiana Tech, and the Warriors serving with Brandon Jones out of the timeout. Trying to go to 4-0 on the season for the number 10 team in the NAIA. Hoyer setting up, cross-court kill, dug out. Stewart gets another swing out of it. Jennings to White, blocked back. Gamero, and Tech 5 points away. Loft on this from Jones. Quick touch to Keogh. Baltimore behind him for Stewart. Jennings backs up to set. And this did not make it over off the swing from Manabach. 21-13. Albert Garbisic on for Indiana Tech. Steps into the front row. Manabach to the back line. Jones to Stewart. Blocked but out. 22-13. Devon Harris, the freshman out of Lafayette, in. Imran Ong also comes in for the Warriors. 3 points to get, 22-13 Tech. Hoyer setting. Blockers there for the Warriors. Hendrickson bats it back over. Jones down the middle. It's good. And the kill for Garbisic. (23-13). And Armand Dosanjh also in. Full line of subs for Indiana Tech. Alex Rosno. 2 points. Dosanjh serves. And Dosanjh unable to clear. 23-14. Carrico back on for a little bit of veteran presence on the floor for Indiana Tech. White serves. Trailing by 9, game 3. Match point for Indiana Tech. Orezio Rieti out of Honduras is in as well for Tech. Devon Harris, match point 1. And too much behind it. Caleb Jennings needs the next 9 for Cumberland. Hendrickson blocked back. Warriors win. Warriors sweep. 3-0 victory tonight over Cumberland as Indiana Tech improves to 4-0 on the season. The number 10 Warriors led by Dante Stewart, who had 12 kills and hit .524, and Raekwon Rogers, a perfect 6 kills on 6 attacks as Tech wins 3-0 over Cumberland. Warriors are back at home on Tuesday night against Rio Grande, and it's on the road tomorrow in Mishawaka. 3 matches this weekend for Cumberland. We'll see you on Tuesday for more Tech men's volleyball from the Schaefer Center here on SummitCitySports.com. Cumberland drops to 0-1. The number 10 ranked Warriors now off to a 4-0 start on the season.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.